Welcome to Bothering the Band. With me, as always, is the steely-eyed producer, Abigail Ann Levy, who has a run for her money in terms of steely eyes, because today's guest is the blue-eyed British babe, Hunk, David, champion of the band Champs. He and his brother are the force behind this awesome British indescribable rock band. And this interview is long time coming, lots of emails, and it is well worth it because this is so much fun. Everyone bothering the band with David from Champs. David.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going well. Welcome to Bothering the Band, my man.
Thank you for having me. Very excited.
The build up to this episode is like nothing we've ever experienced in the 100+ episodes we've done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. I mean, life happens, spam emails happen, and I hope you're tickled a little bit because we would have if we didn't like you or your music, we would have definitely given up on you.
No, yeah, I appreciate that. I did think, wow, this is nice. This is nice that these people have not said, wow, this guy's insane. So I appreciate it.
Well, again, thank you for doing this, for putting up with us on the other end of. We're so happy to have you. My name is Ryan. This is the producer who you've been corresponding with, Abby. And
Great to meet you.
Yeah, let's get this going, and then we can all go about our Saturdays. So how are you and where are you?
I'm good. I'm in my house in London, East London, so Tottenham, which is also the football team I support. So nice part of town. Actually, it's not particularly nice part of town, but it's a cool part of town, vibey part of town. Yeah, just had a nice Saturday afternoon. It's like 22 degrees Celsius here today, and it's nearly November, which is crazy. It's like a summer's day here, which is really weird. Everyone's a bit freaked out. There's people having barbecues, which should not be happening in November in London.
So if you were to go out, can you wear just that t-shirt?
Yeah.
Or you got to put on like a hoodie
I was wearing this and I was hot, proper hot, just a t-shirt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's mad. Global warming, I guess. It's a bit creepy. It's a bit weird, but I like the heat, so it's fine.
You're going to fit in perfectly. So where's your brother at?
He's in London as well. He's just moved house, actually. He was on the Isle of Wight for a couple of years, which is where we're from. I've been in London for 5 or 6 years now, I think. Something like that. Yeah, and he's in London now as well. I'm loving it. And you guys are Florida, right?
I'm Florida, and Abby is in Wyoming. So she's got that full-fledged winter hitting.
Oh my God, that's so cool. Wyoming,
Yeah.
that's like frontier town, right?
That's pretty much exactly what it is.
There's like
so cool.
elk and deer, and I was there for a snowmobile contest, and in the middle of it, they start auctioning off like these rifles. It was like America incarnate.
Nice. I mean, yeah, I'd be quite up for seeing that one day. That does sound pretty cool. Get from frontier vibes, cowboy vibes. I like it.
Come on over.
You gotta have a belt buckle and
a big hat.
Yeah. I'm up for it. I love that.
We'll go to the hat store, try them all on.
Yeah,
that's very fun. Actually, we've done that.
What's Wyoming like known for? What's the famous thing that's come from Wyoming, if there is any?
Yellowstone.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that's where I live, a little bit south of Yellowstone, and work for the national parks.
Oh wow. Shit, that's the coolest job ever.
Well, near the national parks. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Wow.
So it's although it's cold now, and so it's not as enjoyable.
Is it like snowing?
Not at the moment, but yes. We have snow on the ground already.
Oh wow. That's so cool.
I'm very jealous of your warmth.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It'll be freezing here soon, and it'll be raining and horrible. But yeah, England isn't fun either.
It is rather mind blowing. Well, London. I'm from New York. London's like New York, and going to Wyoming and just seeing the landscape because all the mountains are mind blowing to me, and then the wildlife. Like you land in the tiny airport, and there's just moose like right outside the parking lot, and
No.
people like Abby, they don't give a shit, and you're just like, your mind is exploding, and they're like, yeah, whatever.
Oh man, that's so cool.
It
Right,
is very
Wyoming.
cool.
It's on the list. It's on the list. I'm also going to be like going down a Wikipedia black hole after this call about Wyoming. I'll be an expert after this.
Nice. You said Isle of Wight, and I'm gonna get in trouble for this. My stepdad went to an all boys school for his whole life on the Isle of Wight, and I don't know the name of it.
You're joking.
Yeah, he's from Florida, but his dad was British, and would send him over there for his whole life. Yeah.
On the Isle of Wight.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been Ride, probably Ride School. Or
That sounds familiar. It's very. I mean, he's 70 now, so whatever an older one.
that is crazy, man. Honestly, like it's such a small place. There's 130,000 people there. So if you're an Isle of Wighter and you hear of anyone from anywhere else in the world with a link to the place, it's like mind blowing. So that is
in his office. He has like the picture of his class and then the map of the Isle. Yeah,
that's amazing. I love that. That
got
is
into a lot of trouble too.
He got into a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
Good.
he
Good
was
for
the
him.
rambunctious American trying to impress, the British kids.
That is so cool. So how come he got sent to England for school? Just because it was a good school system?
His dad grew up in England, and
Oh, okay, yeah.
just that was his, mission to send his son there.
But also, yes, Florida schools are atrocious. So
Oh, yeah. He's very smart, and yes, Florida schools were, if you went to Florida school, you're a big dummy. So
Right, okay. So my dad went to that school. So there's a chance they went to the same school, that's
I'm gonna
crazy.
text him after this and just get some.
Yeah, it might be Ride, or it could be, I think there's one in Seaview potentially that doesn't exist anymore. So it could be that. But yeah, I would love to find out because that is crazy. That is crazy.
It'd be wild if your dad and him knew each other.
Yeah. They may well do. Shit, wow. This could be a real through the looking glass moment.
It'd be wild. That would be our fate, is to be like, that's why we've stayed in touch and pursued this conversation, and that would be wild. And now we're going to move on to some really stupid questions. Have you ever shopped at a Champs Sports?
No.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, so we only know about it because we don't have them here, but I've seen one in America, and we always get like tagged in their stuff on like Twitter and stuff. So so it'll be like we get like customer service complaints quite a lot. So I'll be like, get a notification about, oh, what's going on? Someone's like, man, these shoes don't fit. And I'm like,
these Adidas's are the worst.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very familiar. Too familiar, more familiar than I'd want to be, actually, to be honest, because I'm just I should be working for them. I'm seeing all of the customer complaints, and I'm also seeing that they're not replying to them very well. So what's that all about?
You should just start replying and be like, I'd like to, on behalf of the band Champs, I'd like to apologize for your ill-fitting Adidas. Yeah.
I might start doing that and start a thread. Yeah, could be a thing. But so that I'm aware of them. Yeah, more, as I said, more than I want to be.
Okay, would you rather have tea with this? This is an old question now. With the Queen or Mr. Bean?
Oh, that's a good question, actually.
I was gonna take it out, but I was like, this is a test of his sense of humor. Here we go.
Wow. So, you put me on the spot now. Mr. Bean, I love Mr. Bean, as we all do, but it'd be hard to have a conversation. He doesn't talk, does he? Right? It'd be pretty funny, physical comedy going on, but I'm going to say the Queen, right? Because I'm by no means a royalist. I don't like the whole thing. I don't think it's weird having inherited power and how rich they are and blah. But it'd be pretty interesting to have a chat with her, find out what she's actually like, well, was like. I bet she's got some stories. And
Yeah.
I think she's actually pretty funny. I think that's what I kept reading when she died. There was all these people saying, "Oh, what was she like?" And I think she was actually pretty cool. She loved to drink. She had a gin and tonic every afternoon, which I respected. And I think she was pretty fun. And yeah, she's probably met some, well, the most interesting people in the world, I imagine, and probably has some pretty good stories. So yeah, I reckon that would be the queen.
I bet you she has stories about Mr. Bean.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Right?
Yeah,
She's like,
almost
let me
certainly.
tell you, one time, me and Rowan Atkinson were
Yeah,
drinking
so
gin and tonics.
that's it, right? It'd be two birds, two for the price of one, really. You'd get all the good Mr. Bean and the Queen stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go Queen.
Okay, similar vein of question. Michael Scott or David Brent?
That's a great question. I think Michael Scott is nicer. I like Michael Scott more as a person. David Brent is actually just a sad, nasty, mean little man. But Michael Scott has got an element of sweetness in him, which I find really endearing. And yeah, I think I'd probably like to talk to him and make him feel a bit better because I feel very sorry for him. Even though he's an idiot a lot, I feel very sorry for him and I sort of want to give him a hug. So I'm going to go Michael Scott because he seems like a sweeter man. That's my answer.
I think that's a perfect answer.
So deep.
What color are your eyes? I'm
Blue.
asking just because they're dreamy.
Blue, yeah, they're very, very
Wow.
blue. Yeah, yeah. I got them from my mother.
Steely-eyed David Champs. Have you ever driven in America?
Yeah, I've been in a car, but I've not driven a car in America.
You've not driven it. Okay.
No. I'd like to. I've done quite a lot of driving in Europe, so it's the other side of the road. So I think I'd be able to handle it. But then I don't know. Your road systems are weird. You have the whole stop signs and junctions, which I don't really understand how that works. So you have to stop just at every junction, whatever's happening, right? Is that the thing?
Yeah, because we're idiots. We're not trusted to be left to our own driving devices. And there's too many of us, there's just so many.
There's a lot of people, that's for sure. Yeah, I reckon I'd like to try it. Yeah, I'd like to do the whole like Route 66 thing in a sort of muscle car. That would be pretty fun, I reckon. Go out into the desert.
Yeah, I've never done that. Abby, have you done that? I feel like that's something you've done now.
Not Route 66. I mean, I've driven through a lot of deserts, but
yeah, Wyoming must be pretty good, like driving country, though, right?
Yes, in the summer. Again, in the winter, it's terrible, and the highways and roads close a lot.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But I live very close to Utah, and Utah has beautiful country to drive through.
Okay, yeah, nice. I like the sound of that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've never done it, but I really want to. I'm gonna, and I'll let you know when I do. I'll send some pictures.
You should do we'll have to think of a clever marketing name for this, but some sort of tour where you're behind the wheel.
That's it. Yeah, we can just do this interview again, but in a car.
Love it.
Yeah. At one point, I wanted to start a podcast called Thinking and Driving. It's like a play on drinking and driving.
Yeah, I like that.
Just conversations. It was a rip. There's a podcast in LA with a bunch of comedians where one comedian would drive his comedian friends to the airport.
Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah.
It was very funny. And then the pandemic kind of ruined it. So
yeah. But I actually love driving. Like it's one of my favorite things to do. If anyone needs a lift, like, oh, can you pick me up? I'm like, yes. And they're like, thank you for doing this. And I'm like, thank you for giving me an excuse to drive because I love it. I used to work for my dad has this company distributing coffee on the Isle of Wight, and Mike and I both worked as his delivery drivers for a few years when we were younger, and it's the best job in the world ever. Just love it. Just driving around on the Isle of Wight. You've got a purpose. You've got a reason to be doing it. You don't have to pay for the fuel, and you're just cruising. Listen to the radio.
Dropping off coffee. I love it.
Yeah, it's a vibe. And you're dropping off coffee. So every person you see is happy to see you because
Mhm.
you give them something they need. So you come out of every day in a great mood. So yeah, I love driving, and I'm gonna do America one day.
Well, we'll meet you and catch a show.
Let's make it happen.
Can you don't have to do it, but can you do an American accent?
Can I do an American accent? I don't know. Maybe you tell me.
Pretty good.
I sound a bit, but what I mean, there's a lot of variation, right, in American accents,
Yeah.
as there is with everyone. So what? I don't know. What am I doing?
Kind of a mix.
Yeah. There's some Midwest in there.
But I heard a little
Southern.
Northeast in there too.
Oh, a bit of
Yeah.
Northeast. Okay. I really liked the series Fargo, which is Minnesota, right? And I love
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah. I love that. That is super cool. What do they always say? What's that now?
What's that? Yeah.
What's that now? So great. Yeah, and that's a hard accent because it's
Yeah.
have you seen the series with Tim?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd like to think he does a really good job of that, right? It sounds pretty convincing, and every time I watched it, I was like, wow, that is a hard accent. That is like a strange accent. I guess, is it a little bit Canadian influence, maybe?
Yeah. There's that strip up there of like Minnesota, Dakota, up there that has a very distinct hyper
I like it.
accent.
I'll tell you what, though, there's an interesting thing about American accents. So the Isle of Wight, it was one of the first ships that went to America from England, came out of Portsmouth, which is above the Isle of Wight, and stopped on the south coast of the Isle of Wight, which is where we're from, and picked up a few people. They went to Florida, funnily enough, and they started a settlement. There's an Isle of Wight county somewhere, I don't know if it's in Florida, but it's somewhere near the East Coast, and they built a church, and apparently it's the oldest church in mainland America. So it was built by South Isle of Wighters. But anyway, I'm going on a tangent. The point is, I found a video recently of these people in Florida, fishermen, who have an Isle of Wight accent. And it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. They all sound like the farmers in the pubs when I go home. They talk exactly the same, and it's crazy. And the Isle of Wight accent's very distinctive, so it's like unmistakable. It's labelled wrong. The person who's uploaded it thinks it's a West Country accent, which is like Bristol or Cornwall, but it's not. It's an Isle of Wight accent. I'll send you a link because it's amazing. It's like Isle of Wight accents like that. It's like hoid hoid. It's hoid hoid on the low hoid. It's very strange accent, that. So that's what like proper Isle of Wight sound like. And there's some of them in Florida, apparently.
That's why I know I'm gonna go down a Wikipedia hole after this now too.
And there's a whole dialect as well. There's a whole like dictionary of different words. So it's like crazy, weird stuff. Like a scarecrow is a gallybagger, and like there's hundreds. They're really weird. They've got a word for it.
I love the like old slang, old like local. I love that shit. I'm gonna text my stepdad right after this too. Shout out to Steve Healy. He doesn't listen, so I don't even think he knows how to listen to podcasts. Where are we at here? Oh, do you and your brother argue? And if so, what do you bicker about most?
We argue quite a lot, to be honest with you. Yeah, we've had so many interviews before where we've said, "Oh no, we get on really well," and then I thought, that's not true. We argue quite a lot.
But just because you argue doesn't mean you don't get on.
Well, exactly.
Well,
I think as a thing, I think this is probably the best way of answering it is we can have really bad arguments, but there's always that thing with brothers where you telepathically get each other a lot more than anyone else. And I always think when we're making music, he'll say something like, "I want it to sound more like squidgy." And everyone else is like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I'm like, "No, I know exactly what you mean," sort of thing. So there's a sort of telepathic thing, which I think is more powerful than any bickering or arguing you could do. So yeah, but we do argue. We bicker about stuff in the studio sometimes, creative decisions, but not that much, actually. What do we argue about? We more argue with each other when we're drunk, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's usually nonsense, like stupid stuff. But yeah, we argue a fair bit, but a healthy amount. I think it's important. A little bit.
Of course. Do you run or jog for fun or fitness?
I do. Yeah, I do. But I always get Achilles injuries, which is really annoying. If I didn't get Achilles injuries, I would be a proper runner, I think, and I'd probably do marathons. But I do it a couple of times a week to stay fit, and I play a lot of football, which is nice.
Okay.
And I cycle a lot as well. That's my main thing because you don't get Achilles injuries when you cycle. But I actually love running. I cycle more, but running's probably my favorite thing. You get that runner's high thing when you hit a certain point, and euphoric. I love it. Actually, running is like. Have you ever read Born to Run, the book?
I have not.
It's amazing. Read it. It's about the human journey with running and how it was like the reason we all survived as a species was because we were good runners, persistence hunters.
Oh wow, that's cool. So respectfully, I hate running, but I'm fascinated by it. So I work the New York. I'm doing it next week. I work the New York City Marathon, and I've done it for 10 years. And everyone asks, they're like, "Oh, are you a runner?" And I'm, no, I hate it. It's the worst. But I think it, like, I wish I were. It's one of those things I wish I were. I envy the people like yourself who can just do it and find enjoyment in it. But I'll check out that book. That sounds.
I believe everyone can find enjoyment there. You just need that one experience. You need that one moment. I believe, at least. I don't know. But what do you not like about it? Is it just the pain of all of it, I guess?
Again, with all due respect, it's just boring. Like, I play, like you said, you play football. I play basketball every Sunday.
Yeah.
And there's that objective, like
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
When you're on the pitch, you can run nonstop. When I'm playing basketball, I'm running for 2 hours straight, but I'm not thinking about running. So if you said run to the mailbox right now, I'd be like, oh, it's so far.
That's interesting. I totally get that, to be honest. And I played football today, and I pushed myself through a lot more boundaries than I would if I was running, because I've got to get back and tackle that guy who's going to score. But when you're running, you think, I'm all right, actually. I don't need to go any faster. So yeah, I totally get that, actually. I totally get that.
And also I have to point out that not all of us can be like good looking and fit just by eating Snickers and Butterfingers, like the producer Abby here, who,
Oh, there's those. I know a few of those people.
Like those are the other people I'm envious of. It's like, oh yeah, I just eat all the carbs and candy I want.
Also very active. I don't like running, but I row boats, I paddleboard, I hike. Like, I do things.
And you're cold all the time, right? You need the energy.
Exactly. And then
covering distance, right?
Just saying.
All right.
Moving on.
What is your favorite action film?
Oh, action film. Die Hard.
That was a test you passed with flying, non-hesitating colors.
Yeah, Die Hard. Love it. 1 and 2 and 3, actually, but mostly 1. It's great.
I haven't seen 2 in forever.
2, 2's the airport one, and it's very funny. That's great. It's very good. Very good. Some pretty questionable special effects at the end when the plane's taken off, but love it. I love it. Yeah,
that's what we were hoping for you to say. Like, we had a meeting before this with our other team members, and we're like, I hope he says Die Hard, or we have to kill the episode.
Terminate the recording. It's not, and 3's good though.
3's fantastic.
Yeah, that is actually. I might watch that tonight. Actually, we're wondering what to watch. It could be Die Hard 3, because we watched 1 and 2 quite recently, and we watch them every year, every Christmas.
Yes,
it's Die Hard. Yeah,
that is my tradition every year as well.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, it's got to be done. It's just the best. Nakatomi Plaza.
I'll let you go for it, Abby.
Oh, we went there this summer.
No.
Yes. We did a live show in LA. And so we drove there. And so I have pictures of me outside Nakatomi Plaza.
That is so cool. Is it actually called that? Is that the real name?
No, it's like Fox Studios
okay.
Plaza or something really boring like that.
Yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Wow, that is a vibe. That's
It really was. It was a great day.
That's a bucket list thing.
It's also like a nice office build, like a tall, nice office building with like a roundabout. And so we just pulled in the roundabout and we're just like out taking pictures, like posing like assholes. And there's like a security guard in this like glass, thing. Just like he probably sees it all the time.
Oh, I'm
like,
sure he does, yeah. But he's probably quite nervous that someone might come in and shoot him in the head there as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a very dangerous place to work.
Yeah, famously.
And then we yelled, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!" And we drove off.
I very love that.
Do you ever wear cargo shorts?
No, I did. I used to. They were fashionable when I was about 13 or 14. And then they were very unfashionable for a long time.
Same here.
But I think they're coming back soon, fashion-wise. I think it's gone full circle, right? Because it's the whole white vibe. But the other thing is, it's funny that because I genuinely have a recurring dream that I'm at like a really cool party and I'm wearing my cargo shorts and I'm like the same ones I wore when I was like 14, which were like army green. Obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And that it genuinely is a recurring dream. I have that probably once a month. I'm just like, shit, why am I wearing these? Why did I do this?
I wonder what that says about you. Like, psychologically.
Well, probably that I'm vain, but nothing good.
Maybe it means you're the one who's supposed to bring them back.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the calling. Maybe I start a cargo shorts influencer account.
That's what you have to wear on your like driving across America tour.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Shorts.
They may well be back in fashion by then. But me and my girlfriend have a thing. We often like a game we play where we sort of name a very, very questionable item of clothing, like we see it in a shop or something. Say, what would you actually say if I turned up? Like unironically, not laughing, just wearing that. What would you say? Would you say, "Are you okay?" Or would you be polite? Or would you say, "What are you wearing?" Like it's an ongoing thing, and there's a few clothing items we see where we think that's the one.
That's a fun game. Do you call them cargo shorts there? Is that the proper thing?
Yeah, I guess we would. Like 3/4 length shorts, right? With big pockets and stuff.
Yeah, and the side pockets by the knees, like that shit.
Yeah. But I mean, they're practical. And actually, some people can pull them off for sure. Like, I know people who still wear them and it's fine. If it's your vibe, it's a vibe.
Yeah. No, I mean, no judgment on cargo shorts.
I have a beef with cargo shorts, though. One, just they're ridiculous. But two, women can barely get pockets at all. And they give you pants with extra pockets.
It's for all the cargo, right?
Yeah.
It's for all the brand stuff that we need,
It's for all the pennies. That's all I picture putting in there is pennies, like paper clips, small medals.
That's it, right? Trinkets.
Sports cards.
Yeah.
Little green army men.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's it.
When's the last time you went to the post office?
About not that long ago. I reckon a month ago. There's one at the end of our road, and I had to. What was I sending? I had to send something boring. I can't remember. But a month ago, I reckon. I actually go relatively frequently. And
welcome to the club. We love the post office.
Yeah, it's an underrated thing, right? And it's nice sending physical. And actually, I'm always blown away by it. It's crazy. You can send anything to anyone, anywhere in the world, and we just cool. I sort of feel like we've gone full circle with it with technology. Now I find post more impressive than technology. I'm like, wow, someone sent me this object from the other side of the world, and it's in my hand. I find that weird, even if it's like a tiny little thing. It found its way.
Yeah, so we'll send you some stuff.
That would be amazing.
And then you can, whenever it gets there, by then you'll have forgotten. You'll be like, it'll be a nice little surprise.
I definitely won't have. And I'll send you all these links as well that we've spoken about.
Yeah, cool. Okay, we have a couple more questions. Like, what's your favorite snack?
Favorite snack, or do you know what's quite boring? And it sounds like it's because I'm like a health food person. I'm not really, but I just love them. Cashew nuts,
Okay,
just or pistachio nuts. I can just
love
I go
pistachios.
into
Yeah.
like a nut frenzy when I have pistachio nuts, and I'll just be
Okay,
there for like
we
an hour.
talking? Are we talking salted? Are we talking roasted? Are we talking
Straight
shell
up,
on?
shell on, shell on.
Oh, okay.
That's part of it for me because de-shelled, you haven't earned it, right?
Yeah.
The shell, taking that shell off, it tastes 20% better. And it's science. Like there was some, I poured some out into my bowl yesterday, and about 5 came out that didn't have shells on. They didn't taste as good because I hadn't cracked them open. So yeah, cashew nuts or pistachios for sure.
Nice. Good for you. I love both. What's the last photo on your phone?
Oh shit.
And
Two
it's up to you if you want to tell us what it is or not.
Oh, it's pretty good actually. Well, it's not a photo. Do you want a photo or like the last thing that's in my camera roll?
Whichever you want.
It's a
You take-
meme.
Okay.
It's a meme that really made me laugh, right? Can you see that?
No.
Yeah.
I like
great.
that you saved that.
Oh, yeah.
You saved that to
Oh,
your
yeah.
phone.
Well, I tell you why I saved it because I googled it because my friend sent me a picture of his girlfriend had made him wear a face mask, and it reminded me of that meme. So I sent it to him. There we go.
I love it.
There
Now
we
you
go.
should print it out and put it in an envelope and send it to me.
He'll just get there a week later, a week after the joke. Okay, thanks, Dave. Yeah, that would really fuck with me, actually.
Yeah, that's so dumb. Do you prefer? Are you wearing a watch?
I am.
Okay, perfect. Do you prefer? I can see it, but for the people at home, do you prefer a digital watch or a watch like that with the hands?
So, well, okay, I'm a bit of a like watch geek. Actually.
Yeah, we know. We did our research. That's why we're asking.
Did you actually?
Yep.
Where did you find that out?
Oh God, I don't know. We deep dive, go into like page 18 on Google.
Whoa, that's wild. That's mad. So yeah, I've got like quite a few old watches, and this is my pride and joy.
Oh, nice.
It's from 1958. It's an Omega Seamaster, and I got it for a hell of a lot less than it was worth because some guy listed it wrong on eBay, and I felt really bad, but he sells them all the time, and I sort of thought, well, you probably should have known. So I got it for honestly a tenth of not a tenth, but a lot less than it should have been. But I do get a bit nervous wearing it because I might get mugged. So
I have an Omega as well that also has a story like that. It was in a lost and found for a year, and now it's mine.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
I also love watches.
Oh, amazing. Good. Great. I feel less weird because so many people don't. People just don't get it and think, well, that might, Casio tells us time the same as that. So what's the point? But something about it, something about the design and like, yeah, the history of them. That's it. It's a history. Like the fact that everyone has a story, right? And this has been going around the world on someone's wrist since 1958. It's like blows my mind. And the fact that these are mechanical, that hasn't got a battery, it's just like springs.
Yeah. I think it's wild that they are both mechanics and art.
Yeah, right.
You know?
That's a great summary, actually. I think that's it.
I think because of my personality, if I dove in, it would become a problem. Like I could see where you would fall in love with it.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. And I just get served adverts all the time for like vintage watches, and it's dangerous because I think I'm overdue a new old purchase, I reckon.
So when you come to Yellowstone, you'll visit a town called Jackson Hole. One of my favorite stores has both new and vintage watches. It's absolutely beautiful. I'll point you in the right direction.
Amazing. That's so
Mhm.
cool. I always find as well in America, it seems that, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but it always seems like vintage, like old stuff like that is a bit cheaper than it would be here. Maybe because it's more ubiquitous or something. I'm not sure. Well, I just find it with
Not in,
guitars.
not this store.
Oh, really?
I think it
Okay.
depends on where you are and what it is.
Yeah,
That-
that's probably true, isn't it?
Because like if you go to a thrift store in Florida, for instance, you're buying t-shirts at, very cheap. If you go to a thrift store in like Brooklyn, you're
Yeah,
paying
cool.
you're paying $50 for a t-shirt,
That's so true. Actually, it's just that, isn't it? That makes sense. Yeah, and it's like that here now. You go to East London, and it's just you buy a t-shirt for 30 quid, and it's like, well, like, yeah, an old Budweiser t-shirt because it's like cool and ironic.
Yeah.
It's 30 quid, and you're like, well, it is also just an old Budweiser t-shirt.
Do you
good.
collect anything else besides watches?
We've got a lot of old amplifiers, like old
Oh,
amps,
cool.
the 60s. We've got a mad good collection, actually. Yeah, we sort of snapped a few up about 10 years ago, just before, like, no credit to us, but by luck, just before they all shot up in price. So we've got loads of they're called When. I don't know if you know them. They're a British company that doesn't exist anymore. Watkins Electronic. Don't know what the M stands for, but yeah, they don't exist anymore. And we've got a few from the 60s. That sounds so good. They sound like nothing else. And a few Selma amps as well. Then I see. Yeah, I'd say that's probably the other thing. I'd like to collect classic cars, but I can't afford to. I could definitely get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about you guys? Do you collect anything?
Abby, I'll let you go first. Yes, we do.
What do I collect?
Well, we have a similar thing with band shirts.
T-shirts.
Oh,
band
Yeah.
shirts. I think if I have over now, it's like 150 t-shirts, and I would say 120 of them are black band t-shirts.
Nothing wrong with that. That's
Yeah.
all right. Hang on, let me see if I can find this. I've got a
T-shirts.
bear with me.
Yeah, do your thing, man.
Yes, I've got this. Is my favorite t-shirt because it's an original from the original tour.
Oh,
What?
wow.
That's the one. That's the
Holy
one.
shit. Listeners, he's holding up a Paul Simon Graceland 1987 tour t-shirt that looks very well preserved.
It is, and I don't actually wear it very often because I'm so nervous about ruining it or spilling something on it.
Yeah.
So that's my contribution to the band t-shirt vibe.
I like that you had that close.
Yeah, it's like I planned it. Literally about 2 meters away from me.
Okay, this might be the hardest question. Beatles or Stones?
Oh, Beatles, easy.
That is also up there with Die Hard. Personally speaking,
All day,
yes,
every
that
day.
you passed.
My favorite. They're just the best thing in the world. I don't think anything will ever again have the cultural impact the Beatles had. And one genius in a band is like 1 in a million, but having 4 in the same band just doesn't make any sense. It blows my mind. There's an amazing documentary by a classical composer called Howard Goodall, and it's called A Musical Appreciation of the Beatles. And he actually breaks down, like, objectively why they were geniuses, the chord progressions and the development and how they were the first to do all of this stuff in a very objective way. And you think, yeah, I always thought they were geniuses, but this guy's explaining why they actually are. So
yeah.
But yeah, they're just, I'll always never get sick of the songs. I always come back to them. And I think the thing that blows my mind is how much they did in such a short period of time. It was actually only like
10 years, right?
Yeah. And they like changed the face of the world and changed their entire identity and sound several times. So it's just, I sort of can't believe they're real sometimes. Just like what the output, just the
Yeah.
level of output is just crazy to me.
It is weird when you think about that timeline. Like now as I get older, time is like relative, you know. So putting in perspective, they're like, we're gonna like their evolution in 10 albums in 10 years that are now timeless. It seems like that was a stretch of thousands of years.
Yeah.
And that's like saying, oh yeah, they, you know, the Beatles from 2012 to 2022, they released the greatest shit ever.
That's it, right? That's it.
So weird to think about.
It's a period of time that in my life is like just flies by, yeah. And
Perspective,
yeah, totally. And there's still stuff that I haven't heard somehow. Someone was like, have you heard this Beatles song? I'm like, what? No, I've never heard it. And it will be like a song they made for some like film they did. It's crazy. But yeah, they're just the ultimate, the boys.
I don't know how you are, but I appreciate them for different reasons at different moments in my life. Like I was when I was younger, I was just like the music and the poetry. And then as I got older, it was the mechanic, and I'm not even a musician, but knowing the mechanics in the songwriting process. And then now as I get further older, it's the evolution of themselves as artists, you know, that I identify with more.
I think that's actually very similar to how I feel. I remember listening to like Yesterday when I was like a heartbroken teenager and really identifying with the lyrics and being like, wow, how can someone like encapsulate this so perfectly? And yeah, I think that's it. And then I got really into like the harmonies and the craft of the song. And that's actually exactly how I feel the more I think about it. Now I'm at a point where I'm just like a full-blown appreciator of the like breadth of their influence. It just we used to listen to them a lot when we were kids. Like we drove a lot, had to drive a lot because there's no public transport in the Isle of Wight, so it was like hours spent sat in the car listening to. And it's like how good they were live. Like most of those recordings were done in a couple of takes, like singing bang on, playing bang on. Like they're just we'll never get another Beatles, that's for sure. Okay,
this is a perfect follow-up. Did you watch Ted Lasso?
No, but I've been told to so many times, and it's like, and I'm not just saying this, it's one of those ones that's like very much on my list. It's like high up on my list because people whose opinion I respect are like, you have to watch this. It's very, very funny. And I've seen clips, and like I know I like it. Like, I know I'm gonna love it.
I'm happy you said what you just said, with the people you respect telling you to like it.
Yeah.
You hear that, Abby?
Yes.
However, the flip side of that is if you've ever had someone you don't respect tell you to watch or listen to something, you're like, I'll never listen to that shit.
Oh yeah. I've had that a few times for sure. Absolutely.
This may be my favorite, actually. What song would you guys play on Later with Jules Holland?
Of our own?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Probably, sounds like a cop-out, but it's not. The one we just released, Adeline. I think that is very... I guess the point of a show like that is you're trying to catch the attention of a load of people who've never heard of you before. And I think that bass line is pretty immediately that you hear it and you're like, cool, I get it, after 15 seconds. So partly because I love the song and partly because, it would just be a sensible decision, because for that reason, I'd go Adeline. But back catalogue, Shadow on the Sea, maybe.
Yeah, I like that song.
That would be fun. Well, thank you.
Abby, that answers our question. So we end every episode with a song. We edit a song at the end of the episodes, and so that we'll use that one. Great.
Love it. Thank you.
And shameless plug time. Do you follow us on Instagram?
I do now, I believe. Yeah.
You better. We're best friends now. We're mailing you stuff.
Yeah.
We've been through the thick of it for like a year now. So
let me check that.
Everyone follow Champs on Instagram. Follow Bothering the Band on Instagram. This is our way of shoehorning in our promo part, so no one can skip over it.
I like it. No, do you know what? I'm going to hold my hands up. I didn't, but I thought I did. But I'm not going to lie to you.
We're just guilting you into doing it now.
I do know.
I love it. I love it. And then, okay, what musician, live or dead, would you like to quote unquote bother in the same vein as this? And what really dumb question would you like to ask this person?
Okay, that's quite easy. David Bowie, because he is like, I'm convinced he's an alien. I've just no two ways about it. I don't know how someone could be that wise. Have you seen the interview with him talking about the internet in like the early 90s?
I don't think I have.
It's crazy. He did an interview with this quite famous British journalist called Jeremy Paxman, who's like quite a serious, hardcore journalist. And Paxman says, well, what do you make of this internet stuff? Isn't it just a means of exchanging information? And Bowie, this is 96 or something. He says, well, I'm not going to do it justice, but he says along the lines of, we're so far from understanding the impact the internet is going to have on society. He says some crazy, like, the user and the interface are going to be simpatico, like everything. He's going to transform society in ways we're not prepared for.
Yeah.
And he's a musician. He's not a flipping tech expert.
Yeah.
He shouldn't know this much about this stuff. But it's like the insight. Like I'll send you a link. I'll send you another link.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Every single thing he says, you're like, yep. And like Paxman, who's a smart guy, is like, nah, surely not. Like, I don't think it's going to catch on that much. I think it will be a thing like emails, but I don't really get what you're saying. And he's just like, you're not listening to me. Like, it's going to change the world in ways you will never understand. And it's like, what? So yeah, anyway, sorry to answer your question, Bowie, because of that, because he's just like the man. Like, I just blows my mind. And what would I ask him? That's hard.
I love the confidence you had that ready, and along with Die Hard. I know.
Maybe ask him if he's ever seen Die Hard. That'd be one question.
And he would say, yeah, of course.
He'd say, yeah, and he'd have loads of amazing opinions about it, and probably be able to quote it and like do an amazing impression of Alan Rickman.
Yeah. I was just about to say, he's like, yeah, I partied with Alan Rickman and the Queen or something like that. Yeah.
He'll be like, I was actually in that film. I'm like an extra in like the big like hostage thing. There I am behind that plant. You'd be like, oh, fair enough. Nice one, Dave.
Yeah.
No, what else? There's something else I can ask him. There's got to be something better. Well, I'd maybe just ask him like, maybe it's a bit boring, but just like, what's the best party you ever went to? Like,
that's a good question.
Yeah, like, what's the best night out you ever had where you think that was the funnest night of my life? Because he must have one, right?
He must, and he must have like many. So in that, you have to assume he has one that stood out.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. The bar is very high, so the one that stands out is going to be like, wow. And it
might not be what you expect of like Studio 54 and drugs and all this stuff. It might be like, oh yeah, I stumbled into a coffee shop and I talked to this person who ended up being an alien, and that's where all this came from, you know.
Yeah, that's actually how I know so much. Like, I've never asked me this question before, but it was the alien I met in that coffee shop.
Oh, brilliant. Well, this has been so much fun, David. So what's next for Champs?
So we just released Adeline, I don't know, a week and a half ago. We've got another single coming next month, November, and then a string of singles, albums out in March, I believe, and then it will be hopefully touring. We've got nothing in the diary yet, but I think we're sort of in a place where we can wait and, you know, make sure we get the right tour, and if it's, you know, the right support tour, or I don't think we want to do sort of touring for the sake of touring, because that can be quite depressing actually. So we want to be selective and patient about when we go on the road, who we go on the road with. Probably come to the States, because our label are based in LA, so they'll probably have us over for some like promo trips. So yeah, we'll be releasing music, promo trips, and then hopefully touring, and then hopefully some festivals next summer. But who knows? It's all up in the air. We just got to hope people like the music and that there's actually demand and people want to come and watch us.
Well, we love the music. And now we love you. So thank you so for real. Thank you so much for sticking with us, for doing this. And we can't thank you enough for your time as well. Everyone follow Champs on Instagram. I love your handle. It's Champs.
Gets the job done, right?
It really does. No underscores. Champs. I love it.
But seriously, thank you for having me. I've enjoyed this so much. And seriously, thank you for your patience and sticking with it, because man, that was a lot of missed emails and a lot of ships in the night. It was
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And same to you. Thank you for being patient and sticking with us. And it worked out. I'm happy everything works out for a reason, and we're giant fans and we're rooting for you. And
thank you so much. That really means a lot. It really does. I appreciate that.
And check your mail in a couple of weeks.
I love it. Yes. But this has been, honestly, I've enjoyed this so much. This has been probably the most enjoyable interview I've ever done. I'm not just saying that. So thank you very much for being great people.
I'm on the reservoir, can you see the sun? Radio transmissions, 1961. They're burning through your eyes with a terrible light. Soft recollections of a terrible night. And I feel dead lonesome now. Take me to the wire, turn me on to something new. And as the dead sun sets on the heavenly line, carry me along with you. Help me out of this darkness, please. Help me out of this hole. Take me under your harlot wing, burn me into your soul. I'm on the reservoir with a seamstress muse. I look inside myself, what a terrible